In the news this morning, a local business owner is dead after a tree fell on her yesterday morning.
It happened around 11 a.m. at a home on Landlocked Drive. Hamilton County deputies found 39-year-old Chastity Elaine Wildman pinned under the tree. Wildman was pronounced dead at the scene. She was the co-owner of Mad Tree Service. The Hamilton County Criminal Investigations Division is investigating the circumstances of this incident. The case of Joshua Mincy is headed to a grand jury. Mincy is accused of killing a woman and leaving her body in the trunk of a car. East Ridge police are investigating a stabbing that happened Monday afternoon. Police say they responded to a stabbing at the Roadway Inn on Ringgold Road at Camp Jordan. Officers say they arrested 25-year-old Matthew Cohen behind the motel after finding a knife, gun, and drugs on Cohen. Right now, he faces drug and gun charges, but more charges are pending for the stabbing incident. The victim is in stable condition at Erlanger. Erlanger Medical Center is saluting first responders this week. They held their annual event at the Life Force hangar. The hospital and its staff honored members of the EMS, fire, police, and 911 organizations for their hard work in the past year. That included efforts to treat students who were hurt in the Woodmore school bus crash, which took the lives of 6 children.
Dr. Krill's legacy will continue to live on through the minds and hearts of those who has trained and mentored throughout the years during his distinguished career.
The Erlanger staff recognized first responders from all over the Southeast Tennessee and North Georgia, as well as former Chief of Staff and mentor Dr. James Creel, who died last year. Welcome back. A new store opens in Hamilton Place today, and it's a part of their sales supports a good cause. Box Lunch is a pop-up culture gift shop that sells shirts, accessories, and collectibles for popular TV shows, movies, and video games. The store's mission is to get some and give back. Every $10 spent there will provide a healthy meal for someone in need. Box Lunch is also teaming up with Dr. Seuss Enterprises to give a grant of money to a recent college graduate who has given back to their community. The Chattanooga store opens today, and the official grand opening is happening this weekend. It's the chain's second store here in Tennessee. New technology is revolutionizing the way students with disabilities learn and interact in a digital world. Teachers at a New York school for the blind are using audio-enabled iPads to help teach reading comprehension to younger students. CBS correspondent Kenneth Craig has more as we cover the classroom. Last night, school board members wrapped up their final Skype interviews for the superintendent position. Next, they'll be bringing the finalists here to the Scenic City. Deputies in McMinn County are investigating a shooting that happened yesterday morning. It happened on County Road 82. Sheriff Joe Guy says he received a report of a homeowner shooting a male suspect who was attempting to assault him. They say the person was taken to a local hospital. We'll bring you more information as soon as it becomes available. In other news, more than 60 canine handler teams from 50 police departments are training right here in Chattanooga this week. The dogs are judged on obedience, agility, and search techniques. Chattanooga Police Canine Officer Sergeant Sean O'Brien says police agencies invest about $25,000 to $30,000 on each animal. O'Brien says it would be hard to do their jobs without their furry companions.
In consumer news this morning, Apple is trying to bite into Android use.
And details on how you can snag, get this, Alicia, a free iced tea at Starbucks this summer.
Well, they should give out something free.
Yes.
The drinks are kind of expensive.
They are a little pricey, but they're so good.
That's so good.
Jamie Yukis has those stories and this morning's Money Watch report.
I think I'm salivating.
Yes.
That sounds so good.
So good. I love some teas, and fruit teas are even better.
Yeah, like a deal.
Yes.
Well, don't forget, every night during News 12 now at 6 and Prime News at 7, you have a chance to win $100,000. You could buy a lot of Starbucks Frappuccinos.
Ideas.
It's all part of our contest called Crack the Safe.
If you're the 12th caller during those newscasts, you have a chance to guess 4 numbers in hopes of cracking that safe to win $100,000. Even if you're not correct, don't worry, you'll receive a cool consolation prize. So check out Crack the Safe every night at News 12 now at 6 and Prime News now at 7. Here's a live look from Brainerd Road as you're waking up this Wednesday morning. Well, most of us like to give gifts. Do you? I know I do. All right, and sometimes they're small or sentimental, but they can be once-in-a-lifetime events.
It's Wednesday, and we're gonna see some rain later on, that's for sure.
I don't think the golfers' forecast is gonna look that great today.
No, I would say no to the golfing.
Yes.
But you also said yes to the puzzles earlier,
I did,
right?
puzzles. Great,
no to golf,
great day for that.
Yes for puzzles.
We've searched Facebook, Twitter, Bing, and other online sources to find 5 of this morning's most talked about topics online. A California boy suffering from a deadly genetic condition had a special birthday request. Halloween in May. Take a look. The 5-year-old's Halloween-themed bash kicked off a 7-day challenge to raise $15,000. The family needs help paying for clinical trials in hopes of finding a cure. They raised more than $6,000 so far. And Beyonce's pregnancy has created a lot of social media buzz, especially after the Queen Bee had a star-studded baby shower that happened over the weekend. Beyonce and husband Jay-Z announced in February that they're expecting twins. The couple celebrated the twins' upcoming arrival with family and friends. The due date is still unknown, but fans think it'll be sometime soon. The Nashville Predators are 1 win away from getting into their first Stanley Cup. Yes, they are. Nashville Predators advanced to the Stanley Cup Finals over the Anaheim Ducks last night. Congratulations to them. Hundreds of fans in Nashville welcomed the Predators home on Sunday after the team reclaimed the series Saturday night in Anaheim. The Ducks will return to the Stanley Cup for the first time since winning the title in 2006 and 2007 season. And bacon lovers rejoice. Camp Bacon is almost here. I wish Chip was here for this. The 5-day festival is happening in Ann Arbor, Michigan. It starts on May 31st. There are bacon baking classes, a glorious pig roast at the annual Bacon Ball, and more. Proceeds from the event will go to supporting local community nonprofits. Organizers say you just might want to look for a fitness festival afterwards. And Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg is making its way around to the country to connect with people, and despite rumors, he says his mission isn't politically motivated. Zuckerberg cleared up this rumor on Facebook on Sunday. He says his New Year's resolution is focused on learning about people's hopes and challenges and how to best serve the Facebook community. We've searched Facebook, Twitter, Bing, and other online sources to find 5 of this morning's most talked about topics online. CNN is reporting that Ariana Grande is suspending her tour after Monday night's terror attack in Manchester. 22 people were killed and dozens wounded when a suicide bomber detonated explosives as fans were leaving the concert. She is scheduled to perform in London later on. Flowers and a memorial wreath were placed on the Hollywood Walk of Fame of Roger Moore. The legendary actor passed away after a short battle with cancer at the age of 89 after 70 years in the industry. He's best known for playing secret agent James Bond in 7 films. A new gadget, Print Pocket, will let you print pictures instantly from your phone. It'll cost $149 and it fits into your pocket and phone and prints off small pictures in about 30 seconds. It holds 10 sheets of paper at a time and uses inkless paper, so you don't need to carry ink cartridges. Right now, the Print Pocket only works for iPhones. However, the company is working on the Android version. A man in Iraq has been collecting cigarette packs for over 40 years. He started when he was just 17 years old. Over the years, his collection has grown to almost 3,000 packets. He says each of his packs is unique with no duplicates in his collection. Crowds cheered as a massive sea turtle was released off the Florida Keys yesterday. The turtle had been rehabilitated from injuries sustained during an encounter with a fishing line. The 200-pound loggerhead turtle, known as Big Don, was nursed back to health at the Turtle Hospital in Marathon, Florida. They've released more than 2,000 turtles in their 30-year history.
Oh, Big Don was eager to get back into the water, wasn't he?
He's got to go on some more adventures.
Don, go.
Welcome back. A popular Netflix series is causing a lot of controversy and raising a lot of questions as it deals with suicide. Joining me now this morning is Eve Knight from Omni Community Health. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so the show is 13 Reasons Why. For those who don't know, what is the show about?
The show is essentially, it's based on a book by Jay Asher, and it goes through the life of a teenage girl as she's experiencing several traumas, which happen pretty frequently in high school. But it's her revealing tapes. There's 13 tapes. They end up being each about one of her friends in high school, and it's 13 reasons why she decides to end her life by suicide.
Okay, and we were talking earlier, what are some of those dangers of people watching this show?
So the biggest thing is there's lots of recommendations out there on how to cover suicide in the media. You know, a lot of people have said, well, it's no different than watching a violent TV show, or, you know, teens have access to right in the palm of their hand on their smartphone. But the difference is that in society, we do have standards, we do talk about violence, we talk about murder, we have social norms around those things. But when it comes to suicide, largely we don't talk about it. When you're feeling suicidal, chances are you've not heard about what to do, where to go, or how to get help. And the show not only doesn't tell you that, but it actually discourages it.
Okay, and it's not just teen suicides that are a high number now, it's all over.
Correct. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for ages 10 to 34. So when we look at suicide, we have to look at it as an epidemic. You have a greater chance of dying by suicide than you do even in a motor vehicle accident. And it's been that way for about 6 years in Tennessee.
And what are some of those warning signs people, loved ones, and friends should look out for in a person?
Being depressed, having high anxiety. In the show, she loses the ability to feel pleasure, and that's a huge warning sign when someone says they feel empty or blank. Especially in teenagers, the inability to feel anything is a big warning sign. But really looking for any major behavioral changes, anything that deviates from the norm.
So overall, you would say this glamorizes it in a bad way?
Unfortunately, at the end of the show, it does show quite graphically how she dies by suicide. And I think the concern is that, you know, parents aren't aware. It's a long series. It's 13 hours. It covers bullying, cyberbullying, rape, sexual assault. But it doesn't give any resources for what to do if you do start being triggered by any of those things.
And what are some of those resources people can, you know, get onto if they are feeling that way?
Sure, there's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which is 1-800-273-TALK. At suicidepreventionlifeline.org, you can actually chat or text with someone, because we know teens don't like to talk nowadays. And then you can always go to tspn.org, which is the Tennessee Suicide Prevention Network, and get local resources.
And you all are having a forum today out in Cleveland. Talk to me about that real quickly.
That's correct. At the Cleveland Family YMCA, we're having a public forum just to kind of gauge the perception of suicide in society. It's not so much that we don't know what suicide is, but just that we need to know how people are seeing it and how we can start to make a difference.
All right, and what time does that start at?
5:30.
All right, and for more information, where can people go?
tspn.org.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back with more News 12 Now this morning. The Tennessee Aquarium IMAX 3D Theater will debut 2 new features that the entire family is sure to love. And joining me now is Mr. Tom Bisson here with all the details. Good morning and good to see you.
Good morning, Alexandria.
All right, so we have 2 new features coming to the IMAX Theater, 2 very different films.
Very different
from
films,
each other. Yeah, so you have the 3D of both of them. Explain just a little bit about what people are going to be seeing when they go out.
It's a great time to be an IMAX Club member, and that gives you unlimited 45-minute films for an entire year. So we've got 2 brand new ones that are coming to IMAX this Friday. We'll start with Amazon Adventure 3D, which I just saw yesterday for the very first time. It was fantastic. One of the things that we did back a year ago was we redid the theater with the IMAX with laser projection system, and that includes a new sound system that has speakers on the ceiling.
And we're taking a look at some of the footage right there from the Amazon.
You know, seeing these beautiful scenes of the Amazon rainforest, you actually hear the birds calling behind you and surrounding you.
So it's almost like you're really there.
It feels like it, and I think for a lot of folks like myself, I may never have the opportunity to actually go to the Amazon, but this is an opportunity to see these animals in this really special habitat in 3D, and then follow the story of Henry Bates, a young naturalist from England who went to the Amazon in the 1850s and really made some remarkable discoveries about the biodiversity there. Keep in mind that you know, in the late 1800s there wasn't much known about the biodiversity of the world. Certainly the rainforest in the Amazon is one of the world's hot spots, much like the Tennessee Valley is, with so many plants and animals. And he discovered something like 5,000 butterfly species that were new to science, along with all kinds of other insects and animals. So yeah, just an incredible journey that he went on. And one of the things that he discovered was kind of the missing link in how animals develop over time. So long-winged butterflies, which are featured in this film, are are an animal that you can visit at the Tennessee Aquarium. Our Jennifer Taylor, our entomologist, knows quite a bit about this mimicry where animals in the Amazon kind of have their camouflage designed to look like other animals. So a certain species of butterfly that's poisonous may have a non-poisonous species that looks exactly like it, because this one's going to survive because the predators recognize that color scheme.
That's so interesting. And then also we have the Journey to Space.
Yes.
That sounds out of this world, literally.
It is.
So talk to me a little bit about that film.
So, you know, we have always been people who want to journey and venture and go beyond horizons. And I had no idea how far along NASA was in its missions to Mars, but this film really focuses on what's being done right now to move that program along, and you'd be surprised at how far along they are. They're developing the vehicles to go across the Martian terrain. They're developing the spaceship to get there. A lot of the work that's been done in the Space Shuttle and International Space Station program have been precursors to this extremely long journey it would take to get people to Mars, and then even simple things that like designing spacesuits. So when astronauts were on the moon, for example, when they would come back into the lunar lander, they would actually bring some of the dust from the moon back in there, and it was a little bit of a problem. And so they're designing new suits that will kind of latch onto the spacecraft where they exit through the suit and leave the dust outside. So there's all these kind of refinements that have taken place over the history of the space program that are leading up to this really amazing adventure.
And one great thing, this isn't just for fun. You're actually learning when you're going to see these films.
Almost all of our films are educational and they're entertaining, but you walk away thinking, wow, I really learned something today.
Right, and you guys are offering a pass for people who might not have that already. And what's the deal on that?
The IMAX Club Pass is an individual membership to IMAX for an entire year. You get to see 45-minute films for free. So if you purchase the $40 pass now, you get to see those 2 films plus Jean-Michel Cousteau's Secret Ocean and any other 45-minute films that come through the next year. And feature-length films, you get discounts on that plus discounts on concessions.
What a great deal. I like that. All right, for more information, where can people head on over to?
Go to the website at tnaqua.org, tennesseeaquarium.com, or check us out on Facebook. We also have a Facebook page for the IMAX 3D Theater.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tom. Always good to see you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Let's Chat.